Hey guys, welcome back! This, as you just saw, is part 2 of my Painting Angel's Landing lesson. In part 1, which I filmed previously, we looked at how I get started with my landscape paintings, and on a painting of this scale, I started out with drawing my grid to match everything up with the photo, and then sketching out where the mountains and the foreground, everything's gonna go. So step 2, in this video, I begin painting with the sky. So the sky is the farthest thing in the background, and that's why I start with that. I'm mixing phthalo blue with white for my background sky color. It was a nice sunny day when I was out there, and I'm actually painting new clouds into this painting. They're different from my reference photo. I thought the clouds in my reference photo were a little boring, so I wanted to spice things up and add some more color into the sky, so I'm gonna make the clouds a little bit larger and a little bit more puffy and full. So that's what I'm gonna do here, but for right now I outlined where the clouds are gonna go, and I'm filling in the space behind the clouds with that phthalo blue and white, and I'm also carrying that color onto my side borders of the 1-inch thick canvas. That's where you just saw me painting on top of that canvas there. I'm really laying on a thick coat of paint here. I don't want to see any white from the canvas leaching through. I want to have full coverage with my oil paint on this canvas. So that's why you see me really pushing in with that brush into the canvas, trying to fill in all of those little spaces and ridges in the canvas. So after painting the blue sky, I started to paint my clouds. I used a cadmium yellow mixed with white to start off with these clouds. Because these clouds are made up clouds and not the clouds from my reference photo, I was a little bit more challenged with these since I wasn't simply transferring what I saw in a photo onto the canvas. I had to use my imagination on these clouds. So I at first wanted to use a nice bright yellow color and throw my shadows on the clouds with some purples and oranges and really give a nice colorful morning cloud look in my sky. I later go back in and add some white to these clouds because for this time of day where I took this photo and the sun is hitting the mountains, it would not look right to have those very early morning colors in the sky. So I do go back and change the way that I throw colors on these clouds. But for now, with my base, I started out with this nice bright yellow, and you can follow along with me and my learning process for painting these imaginary clouds that I want to look realistic. So at this point, I let the oil dry for about a week before I went back in with my white paint. I did not want this white paint to blend really easily into the colors. White, when you blend it with your oil paints, it tends to just lighten things up and take away some of that pigment. So I did not want that to happen. I instead let everything dry so that when I go back over, I just get that nice white look instead of having it blend in with the colors that are already there. So this is what I was talking about earlier, where I said I wanted to fix, I guess you could say, my clouds and make them look a little bit more accurate for the time of day where the photo was taken. So here I'm adding some more white. After I brightened up the clouds with some white, I went back in with the shadows again and tried to boost my shadows, making some of them a little bit darker and fading them back into the white to create depth in these clouds. Alright guys, I am going to stop with the clouds for now. I got some more depth into them, but I know I'm going to want to touch them up some more as I start to get a little bit more done with the mountains and the foreground. So I'm going to leave the clouds be for now. Probably going to come back to them in another episode, so stay tuned. You can see the finished result as I take you step by step with the rest of this painting.